well rested from the weekend, and my focus for this week is payments, and also help Nico onboard the HR side. And then intentions for this call is bring up the one suggested in the last community call about a channel where we can announce time off and vacation days, and also about signing of the work agreements if we should push that, and if that is necessary. I'll pass it to Lauren.
Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, so I'm feeling okay, a little like Monday overwhelmed because Monday starts and then I'm like, oh no, there's so much to do. So I'm feeling heavily distracted by Give Power and trying to coordinate things around that. But then I'll also pay attention to all the governance things. I'm also here for it. Happy to talk about the austerity measures, preparing for the give measures. Such a title, bitch. Yeah, so I don't think I have any specific intentions for this call, but there's a lot of forum posts. So as we go through them, I'm sure I have many comments. I'll pass it to me.
Hello again. I'm so interested in Give Power. And yeah, it's going forward. Some will prepare the smart contract tomorrow, deploy it this week, and we can go for subgraph and preparing some part of the front end. Yeah, that's it. I pass it to Nick Pauls.
Thanks, Amin. Yeah, hi everyone, good evening. And I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed right now and happy and also excited at the same time to take on the new task for this week. And my focus for this week will be mostly on the onboarding stuff. I'll be working well with Frischel and the other people in the HR department to focus more and to accomplish the work agreements and the other things that needs to be done as soon as possible. So yeah, those are my focuses for the week, and I'm passing it on to Griff.
Thanks, Nico. Yeah, I'm feeling bruised. I went kite surfing this weekend, or learned to kite surf. Tried learning to kite surf this weekend, and it's tough. So still recovering from that. And my focus for the week will be on the Angel Vault and Regen Pool, and also trying to sell Give tokens with Yas. That's kind of the other big focus. To strategic partners. And intentions for this call are really just to talk about austerity measures, check in on all the forum posts. There's so much action on the forum every week, it's obscene. It's so hard to keep up with. So I'm just excited to go have the overview. I'll throw it to Mateo.
Yeah, I'm ready gone. So I'll pass it back to Kai.
Are you there, Kai?
Yeah, sorry. It's like always, I missed the mute button on the first try, and then it goes to another thing. No special agenda, just here to get updated over our governance and help if I can. And I can give it to Monique.
Hey, thank you, Kai. Good morning, good evening. I'm feeling good. My focus for this week is just to, trying to deliver verification and Give Power front end together. And my intention for this call is just to think and listen. Pass it to Carlos.
Guys, good morning, good evening. Great to be here. Also checking on backend issues to take this week. And yeah, also listen to see what's going on. Let's see. I'll pass it to San Santi. Did he go?
Thank you, Carlos. I didn't go. I'm feeling great today. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm going to be focused on getting feedback, direct feedback from some of the art projects on Giveth to see what they think about the point art proposal that we're trying to put together here. And also focused on NFT projects for Burning Man and some others. I'll pass it to Ashley.
Thanks, Santi. Happy Governance Day, everybody. My focus for this week, governance-wise, is to finish up my buddy review calls, look at the role proposals that I haven't yet looked at and voted on or commented on in the forum, and start to write my own current role proposal to get put up. I think that covers it, governance for me this week. And intentions for the call, just to keep in sync with everybody and see what's going on, see what kind of votes are out there, if there are any. That's it. And I'll pass it to where are we at? Mo?
Hey, did you mean me? I don't know
Yeah.
if there is
I'm the only
also
Mo left.
another Mo because we have so many Mo. Okay, so intention for the call, I just want to sync up with everyone, no distraction, and my focus is I'm actually trying to find my focus for this week, a lot of different things, but mainly I'm going to finalize the remaining design, and also, especially this week, I'm going to work on the design system. Yeah. Kotabe, did you go or not?
No, I haven't. Sorry. um, okay, I'm muted. Yeah. Um, hey, well, my intentions is to sync up with everyone, um, see what's happening on the forum in general, and distractions. While I was testing the APR for the cult. Sorry, what called? What's the pair? Called ETH. Region Farm, but now I'm here, so I'll try to focus on this, and afterwards I'll hop into Amin hop into a call with Amin so he can play him a bit further. That's it. Thanks. And I'll pass it to. I don't know who has gone and who hasn't, but let's see. Maybe Rochelle.
Oh, Michelle already went, but we can pass it to Todd.
Hey everyone. Yeah, a little distracted today. I kind of feeling behind on some foreign proposals. So just listening today, and hoping to kind of catch myself up a little bit. I was away at a conference last week with another team. So yeah, happy Monday, everyone. Looking forward to this week. I just jumped in, so I'm not sure who went. I'm gonna just pass it randomly. Carlos, did you go?
Ooh. Carlos went, but we can pass it to Sugar.
Thanks. Can you all hear me okay?
Yep.
Groovy. Okay. Hey, everybody. My intentions are to get synced. My focus this week in terms of governance is to sort of keep up on the austerity measures and the angel vault, all of that sort of stuff, the regen pool, all the topics going on in the forum and in last week's call. And distractions are family related, a bit complicated. Just got off the bike, just carried a kid upstairs, that sort of stuff. So crazy. If you saw where I was standing and what I was holding and doing right now, it's like two different universes. And I'll pass it to Jess.
Thanks to that. Hi everyone. Yeah, so the focus of my week will be working with Griff on different projects. We start working the past week, and my intention for the call. So I will be recording the call, and I I have no distractions. And I will pass it to Giant Kin. Thanks.
Giant Kin is deafened, so he probably won't hear you, but I think he's here in spirit. I think we've got everybody here. So let's keep moving in. Sorry for the noise. So let's just take a look at, there's nothing added to the priority agenda items. Rochelle, you brought up some stuff. Maybe you want to add it into the bottom of the agenda so we don't forget it. Okay, cool.
Okay.
And we'll start by looking at some stuff in the DAOs. There's no pending multi-sig transactions in the liquidity or the main Gnosis safes. Nothing new on Snapshot. In the Give Garden, currently we have the proposals for the smart contract audit of the Give economy, the Giveth integration in EVM CRISPR, and the initial design phase for the PFP collection. So we've got those. You can see this is asking for 50,000 Give. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. The audit is going to be, yeah, that's a big one. So a little over 300,000 Give, and then the PFP collection is about 30,000 Give. So go ahead and check those out. Support them if you feel inclined. If not, abstain. And moving on from the Give Garden, there's only one active vote right now, and that is Giant Kin's roll proposal. So that should be there, ready to go.
I think also it's for Amin. Am I right?
No, he's in the forum still. It's not on the DAO.
Sorry.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll be seeing some givebacks votes soon. I know we're almost coming to the end of the next round, so hopefully we can get that forum post up and vote on sending givebacks for round 11. And then that's it. Any questions about any of this stuff up for voting? Okay. Cool. Well, let's jump into it then. So the first thing I have on here is the Giveth austerity measures. Yeah, it's a bit dramatic. It's okay though. There we go. So basically here, we had a Give economy call, and Lauren brought up a point about like, winter's coming, it's the bear market, what should we do with the Give economy? Should we make any changes? So I just kind of ran with it, and I came up with a few different ideas to rein in basically the amount of Give that we're handing out, and spin up a new idea for a token. So I don't know how many of you have actually read it. I don't know if there's anything we wanted to discuss in the call. Griff lent some comments about the farm distribution. There seems to be a lot of positive reception for making this nice token. Does anyone have any questions, or like, no?
For those of us that haven't heard, do you want to go through kind of the top level,
Sure.
reasoning?
Sure. Well, I mean, basically it's just like we've got several different manners that we're handing out Give, and so that's the Give Garden, Give Backs, and the Give Farm that we're giving out Give to different entities for different reasons, for donating, for funding requests, and for providing liquidity or staking. So basically, conviction voting is the voting method that we use to distribute funds in the Give Garden. And so here I just want to lower the settings a little bit to make it harder to pass proposals, so that we're not spending funds as quickly from funding requests, or just making them harder to pass simply. And so they're just like subtle changes. I use the same simulator we used from the Commons upgrade in the TEC to test our conviction voting settings. using some of the actual data we have right now in our Give Garden. And so I just kind of outline there. I throw you a couple examples, and then there's a poll for those of you who want to just participate that way. GiveMax distribution. Currently, we're sending out 75% of the USD value as Give, up to 1 million every 2 weeks. And in here, I'm suggesting to lower it to 50%, reducing the amount of givebacks given out by a third. And then after that, the Give Farm, basically we have the extension coming up, coming at the end of June, which will be a 2-month extension. Lowering the flat distribution from 600K to 500K, and de-incentivizing single asset staking in favor of Give DAI, Give X DAI liquidity provision. And then the last one here is the incentivizing donations to the Giveth project. And so essentially just kind of making a donation drive for the Giveth project on giveth.io. And this would be by rewarding people who donate XDAI or DAI to our Giveth project with a token that would be called NICE. And so this would be like sort of like a reputation token or a non-financial token that would give them special discounts, special access, potentially like maybe a reward staking program once we hit like a certain market cap with Give or something like that, like post bear market essentially. And then we could promote like top NICE holders. We could promote like top donors for every give back cycle. And we can collect these funds and use them for a bunch of different ideas like buying back Give from the OTC desk. And so there's like a lot of different ways we can go with this last one, but basically just like getting a signal of like, yes, should we look into building something like this? Which would be pretty easy, honestly. So that's the top level. There's a lot of stuff going on here. I've done a lot of talking, so I'm wondering if anyone has anything to say or questions.
I love the thank you so much, Nish, for putting this together. There's so many good ideas in here. I'm gonna spend time looking at each of the parts in depth, but the NICE token is such a fun idea. So I just wanted to just give you some praise. But yeah, I'll respond better in the forum because I feel like there's like a lot to unpack and I want to assess your conviction voting params and stuff.
Yeah, at the very least, please engage in polls.
I like the conviction voting params. Also, we do have our own fork of the CV, and I'll grab that link so then it shows give tokens, and maybe we can set that up so people can see it. But yeah, I'm kind of against the idea of reducing single-sided staking, just because Give Power is our next big push, and that's the base of Give Power. And I also think that if we are concerned of bear market, reducing our connection to the Ether makes a lot more sense, because then we're not being dragged down by the ETH.
Yeah.
But other than that, love the conviction voting params. Like the NICE token. I think there's a lot of thought that needs to be put in there, but it's always good to make new tokens. Let me just say that. Like, I'm a big fan of more tokens. Printing money is a great move, always. And but reducing the donors, I'm also not a fan of, though. Reducing the give factor doesn't make much sense to me either. I think that's the one thing we want to keep highly incentivized and let that thing reduce itself when we get more donors.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I saw your comment there, and maybe there's like a middle ground between reducing ETH rewards, and like I would still think that like making the switch to Give Power, like having a better APR on Give Power and less on single asset, would actually incentivize the switch. People would be like, wow, single asset's so low, but look at that Give Power APR. Like,
Well, the thing is that give power is on top of staking. So like the staking won't go away. They won't have to. They won't have to like move. It's like when you have to stake first, and then you can lock for give power. So the people who are staking, it's like they already took the first step of give power.
So you're just changing the staking contract.
We're not even changing the staking contract. Staking contract is still Garden's staking contract, but then they're basically opting in to make it so they can't unlock their Ggive. That's what give power is on the back end. So they won't have to like transition. It'll just be like those rewards go to people who decided not to lock. And I'm kind of assuming that we'll turn off single-sided staking on mainnet completely and use those rewards plus the staking rewards on XDAI to make the give power rewards.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. I just also want to say, Mitch, I really have been enjoying diving into this, and I really like that you're coming with a really strong proposal and suggestion that we can then kind of look at the different pieces and scale it back and look at how it matches with the changes we're doing for give power. I can see I need to get my head around some of these other things a little more to understand them, and I really need to do that because I do see there's a middle ground in between what you proposed, because we do need to make some changes, and yet also there are changes coming, and incentivizing donors to buy give right now feels like the most important piece, so I don't want to lose that. That's what I'm looking for. But thank you so much, and thanks for explaining it to me when we chatted the other day. And you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what we need to do right now.
Yeah, for sure. Does anyone else have some more some critical feedback or discussions they want to make on this proposal?
I like the idea of introducing austerity and analyzing all the different options. I really appreciate all the work that you've put there, Mitch. But I would like also to try to be creative and find ways to get income instead of only focusing on reducing costs, if you want to call them this way. Because there's nothing we can do against the beer market, but there's things we probably can do to try to get income. It was probably it'd be good to try to have some meetings and brainstorm all together and see what we can do in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, I've been pushing on this income thing, like with regen farms, the poignard donations, like everything. It's like, let's make revenue streams, and sometimes I get pushback and sometimes I don't, but I agree with you.
I just want to say it looks really awesome, and it looks like you put a lot of work into this. This is the first time I'm looking at it, so I want to look at it a little bit more. I also agree with the conviction voting part. I've noticed that our proposals just pass really easily, and thankfully we have a great community and people are putting up great proposals, but especially now with the market, it's good to take a look at that. The give farm part, I definitely need to look at the numbers a little bit more, but I'll have to agree with Griff with the give backs part is that I don't think that we should lower our percentage at all, especially, I mean, we want this program to be very appealing to donors, and the only thing that we really have going for us right now is the 75%. So until we can make this program more appealing in other ways, I don't think we should lower that number. That's like the little bit of feedback I have just from what I've looked at so far, but thank you for putting this all together.
Yeah, thanks, Mitch. I was feeling conflicted about the givebacks myself, and in fact, I think I changed my vote 3 times out of the 4 options. And it's really nice to hear everybody's feedback on that, because one thing I was thinking was not just what you said, Ashley, about it being kind of what we've got going right now, but also that obviously the market will always be, fluctuating or unpredictable or whatever. And the givebacks feature is really, it's like we can't what's the word, like renege on our promises because of those fluctuations. We need to sort of stand our ground, so to speak, or hold ourselves to our promises to the people in the community. So
I mean, I'm just thinking of like distribution, everything, like all the options are on the table because I mean, I understand, and we didn't promise that we would maintain 75% forever and always. I understand this pushback, but like there's some things that we have to consider changing so that we don't see a repeat of 2018, to be frank.
yes, and when I hear Mitch, when I hear your perspective, I'm like, yes, totally that. So I don't know. That's why I changed my vote.
Yeah, and this isn't exhaustive options, but like mainly I want to convey is that we really need to start taking action. And like Santi came up with some great ideas as well, and maybe this gets people start thinking about different ways that we can reduce our give emissions and start generating revenue that's going to hold us together. If there's no feedback that you guys want to say on the call, again, I can see the votes are starting to rack up here, so it's great. There's more engagement. And leave some more feedback. You know, there's lots of stuff here, but once the 5-day advice process is over, I'm going to start pushing to make some of these changes up onto the DAOs, assuming we've resolved anything outstanding. Let's keep moving on. Q1 vesting and beyond. I wonder if there's an update on this. Q1 2022. That would be Griff.
He's coming, sorry.
Sorry about that. Q1 vesting, I haven't looked at it this week. But we did get Q4 vesting out, which is amazing. Thank you, Mitch. You're a rock star. As always, and everyone who helped to make that happen, thank you so much for getting that out. But yeah, I think this is I still think I need one more week before I really dive into this to finish up the Angel Vault spec and push. So I don't expect much progress on this week either. Next week. Unless someone else wants to try to take it on.
I'm probably going to take a stab at it this week.
Okay, nice.
Okay, don't go anywhere too soon, Griff. We got the Angel Vault.
Angel Vault! So the biggest drama here is that Ichi and Tribe aren't on best terms right now. So we might be losing that Fae bonus. We're gonna investigate, and I don't know. Yas is not here. Yas and I are gonna talk in about an hour about the latest updates on on Fae and getting that 10% deal to go into our Angel Vault. I think they're also going into like austerity measures. So I think we might have trouble getting that bonus for Fae, which is interesting. You know, I would like to forge this partnership, but we'll see if they can give us anything to sweeten it, like a token swap of some sort. And yeah, that's kind of the big push. Everything else is looking smooth. We have a couple of forum posts up with pretty broad acceptance, and we'll just keep pushing forward. I don't know, is there any questions or updates anyone wants to hear?
You had a couple multi-sigs you wanted to make. One for managing the one give collateral and then the regen pool collateral.
Yeah. So the regen pool collateral is pretty basic. It's just paying, it's just like getting the loan and paying it back, and managing that process and managing our collateralization. So the give price goes down a lot. This multi-sig would be the one to re-up it with give tokens in the Fey pool, and they will have give tokens in their possession to do that, and then they could also request more give tokens in the case of a major market crash. And they will also, that regen pool multi-sig will also be the group to pay back the Fey loan. So however we get the Fey to pay that back, they'll be the Fey would be sent to that multi-sig, and then that multi-sig would be the one paying it back. The one that's more complicated is the one give multi-sig. This multi-sig would effectively manage our one give token, and it would be in charge of the Angel Vault. It would be in charge of the whole one give collateralization, and it would be in charge of when to market sell give tokens to maintain good collateralization with stable tokens. So it's an interesting situation with one give, right? Because the one give token is minted with 20% give and 80% Fey, a stable token, but then it's redeemed for 100% Fey, right? So that's not sustainable. And what's nice though is it's actually better this way, in my opinion, that they do redeem it with 100% Fey, because then we get to choose when to create the market pressure on the give token. So this multi-sig would be charged with occasionally when people cash out one give, we need to start tabulating that and be like, okay, this is give tokens. We need to sell this 20% of give tokens to recoup that collateral that was cashed out. And we get to decide when to do that, and hopefully we can have that forethought and take advantage and do it in advance. Whenever the give token price went up recently a little bit, we should have been cashing out on that pump to store up our reserves, our Fey reserves, right? And it's just this multi-sig will be charged with managing that process. I don't think it will probably involve a weekly meeting and some UniV3 positioning.
Cool, thanks for the update. Any questions here, or maybe people can join the Give Economy research call?
Yeah.
That's the best place to get in.
Yeah, and I'll, it's Monday morning, so I'll have a lot more updates by then on Wednesday.
Okay. Cool. Then moving down the list, Giveth role and work agreement process. I think this is just a general PSA to get your role proposals up. I think we set a tentative deadline for July 5th to get these up. Otherwise, there could be some repercussions. Anything I missed there, Rochelle?
The question on should we sign work agreements, the one that we suggested before, using open law after the rule proposal has passed and then transfer it to the work agreement, should we do the signing, the contributor and someone from governance working group? So yeah, I'd just like to ask advice from about that. But so far I think we haven't had signed agreements in Giveth. So yeah, just
Um, what would be the value that's added by adding this extra step?
I think
Does it make
like
templates
there
easier?
would be yeah, I think like there would be something like either party like Giveth or the contributor would have to like enforce the terms in the work agreement, just foreseeing the possible like scenarios in the future. But so far we haven't had the an instance where we need like it would have value for now. But yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Well, if we don't know what value it's been adding concretely, I'm not sure how great I feel about adding the extra step, unless there's something like legal related to having people sign something, or I don't know.
There's nothing legal related. I don't know. Do people think that's cool, or is it not worth the work?
I don't think it's worth the work personally.
I love cutting steps.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it would be enough to have like the history in the Google Doc and like the DAO vote too.
Yeah, I mean, it seems silly to me that like I could just put my name as Karmatic Acid. What is my signature really like? Me too.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think this is kind of a holdover from the common stack where there isn't an official DAO vote to ratify it, right? So you need some kind of ceremony to say this is official. And I think there's more than enough of that here in Giveth.
Okay, cool. Well, if there's nobody who's in favor of signing an open law, then I think we can just say cut it. But I'll leave space. Anyone to speak up now? Cool. Is that good for you, Rochelle?
Yes. Thank you for the feedback.
Cool. And then PSA, buddy reviews. Give it to me. Let us hear Rochelle. Tell us all.
Just a weekly reminder to have buddy review calls, and yes, we're like in the middle already in the Q2, so yeah, it's just if you haven't had a buddy review for the past 3 months, so please schedule a call.
Yeah. And get some feedback. I noticed Lauren had a bunch of calls and she really took the lead and like making sure that she got feedback on herself and the buddies that she was reviewing. So this stuff was really helpful for us to get feedback on the work that we're providing in Giveth. So go ahead and fill out a feedback form if you want to help us get better at what we do. And you can also fill out a self-review form, I think, as well. Yeah, lots of forms. Do them, sign them. Cool, thanks. And then just a thing on give matching. Big update incoming. I kind of just make this PSA every week to come up with distribution ideas. I'm almost done posting it for review. I'm just waiting on some last minute additions to the spreadsheet so that everyone can play with the parameters. So that's just an update for give matching. ETH Barcelona, this is from last week. Is there anything to add here or still, I don't think there's anything new here. Apply for a talk. Try to show up by the 2nd of July. That's kind of when all the fun stuff starts happening.
I think that there was talk of maybe a forum proposal about like financial stuff. There's been a couple people who have asked me, is there going to be like a stipend to be able to go, or do we have plans for that?
So basically, what we would have to do is we would have to request give from the treasury and then sell it to basically reimburse people for their costs. I think that's something that we have to talk about. I think generally before, when it's ever been done, Griff's just kind of taken a hit on it. So I don't really want to speak for him, but yeah.
In general, for this one, I think that we would, of course, I would buy the give tokens and reimburse with stables, but we might have to do something like only 80% of the air travel, and then tickets. If you have to buy a ticket, which you shouldn't have to buy a ticket because we have so many. But if you and several people have already, so I don't think we shouldn't need more tickets, I would say.
Okay, and accommodation wise, it's like there should be available spots for most of the people, right? Because I think that that's the biggest thing for people is accommodation, and especially people who are already in Europe, like their flights aren't too expensive anyway. So I think it's mostly accommodation is the need.
Accommodation won't be a problem because we have a house in Barcelona, so that's really nice.
Yeah.
I do think we should just skip Paris, basically, though.
Yeah, that was kind of the vibe I was feeling.
It was really hard to get tickets anyway, and like I'm speaking, so I'll have to go. But I think the real magic is the 2 weeks in Barcelona, from basically the 2nd until the 17th, ish. There will be like lots of people hanging out, and it's really nice to co-work together. And I know Frashelle and Ivy and Aljean, this is like, and Amin, this will be like the first time they get to meet anybody, and we all get to meet them, which is just super cool. So
Me.
Are you coming too, Monique?
Yeah, I have interview. I have interview with with France embassy Wednesday, and I hope I can get a visa.
Nice. And will you be able to come to East Barcelona? I mean, I guess you fly to France and then you kind of like sneak your way into Spain.
Maybe I can attend your hanging house. I don't know. I have to see what will happen after. Because the entry should be in the France. I think that I have to do more research about it.
Just when you get your embassy thing, just try to get to France early, and then go get to Barcelona as soon as you can.
Yeah, I hope so.
It should totally be feasible, right?
Should we get a Notion page or something going so we can coordinate on, so we know the dates of people and stuff?
I don't know about Notion. I usually just use Google Docs. And yeah, we haven't started coordinating really hard yet, but we will. I did close off the Google house. There's the Giveth house. So for those weeks, it's just Giveth people and Common Stack people and TEC people, like our people, no randos outside of the people who are in our core.
Let me.
Cool. Anything else for this that we want to talk about? East Barcelona. I think if anyone really wants to take the lead, maybe we can get a forum post up and some consensus around like, should we reimburse it? And I'd love to just hear like Griff being more specific about like what he would, what you're willing to make.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is accommodations are basically free. We have the sponsorship, which will cover a lot of tickets. Once you're there, it's cheap. It's just getting there, and I think we shouldn't cover 100% of the travel costs, unfortunately. And we won't cover. I mean, some meals will just happen, but we probably won't cover other costs while you're there, food and these sorts of things. There'll be a lot of free food because during these, events, there's just a lot of free food. There's a lot of parties and a lot of free food, but expenses there will not be covered, and we should just cover, I would say, 80% of the flights.
Okay. Well, okay, we've got it here in the thing. But if anyone feels inspired, go ahead. But I think we have most of the info we need here.
I'll work with Algene to formalize this into a formal post today.
Great, cool. So then Algene can help us with that.
And should we ask for days off for attending this Barcelona, or it should be on or working days?
I mean, I think it's days off of work, but they count as working days, right? Like days off of GitHub issues, but not. You're going to be with the team at a conference, so it's not like it costs vacation days.
Thank you.
I'm thinking out loud here, but if we finally move forward with the PFP collection, should we use Barcelona to try to promote those PFPs and sell them?
Yeah, that would be really cool. That's a great idea. Especially, maybe we should sell them on Doing Good.
Right, whatever. But use the event to, give a bunch of visibility.
Since Doing Good has their own NFT platform and they're throwing this conference, we should, if we want to promote it there, we'd want to use their platform. And obviously, you can also use OpenSea on top of it, but.
Cool.
I have another question that's unrelated to this.
Yes, go ahead.
It's unrelated. I wanted to talk about this channel, but also this morning in the general channel, there was a post made about a vault, give.farm, and I'm curious, is this a vault that I just don't know about, or was this started while I was gone?
No, so this is like a guy who created some bots to harvest and auto stake his rewards from the Give farm into the Give staking pool. And then he had mentioned that he created this, and I chatted with him briefly and told him, oh, wouldn't it be cool? And I talked to Griff as well, and I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if some of the rewards were donated? And that was kind of the last coordination I had with him. And then today I also saw that on Twitter and wherever that he created this. I haven't got a chance to look at the video yet, but we didn't review this or build it or sponsor it, but it might be a cool thing. So I think it's worth looking into, but DYOR and tread cautiously, because if you're adding permissions to allow somebody to harvest and do things with your Give, it's good to kind of make sure that it's trustworthy. But yeah, so it might just be amazing and really cool, and we should review it and then announce it to the community. But I think those steps haven't been taken yet, so tread cautiously.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a scam that needs to be removed from Discord.
Yeah,
The repo is open source, so you can go and check it out.
Totally, but I think we should look into it before kind of really sharing it broadly with the community. Did he post it in? He posted in the Discord?
Yeah, in general at 7 a.m.
Does anyone, especially from the dev side, want to consider reviewing this? It seems like it checks out, but it definitely could be a scam, and we should be on our toes. I'm gonna put some give in it from an address that doesn't have much in it and just see what happens. But I don't know if anyone wants to review their code a little bit.
Yeah, he asked for help like a couple of weeks ago, but just to check out on the API and to see if he can access to the impact graph and all of that. Haven't seen the smart contract. Ask him to talk to me about it when he's done, but he released it. He didn't do it, so I will talk to him and ask him how's it going. But yeah,
Nice.
be careful.
Yeah, and if maybe we could just have like everyone who plays with smart contracts in a channel or something, and we could make a Discord DM and just have a quick review on that.
Should we add him to the DM?
Yes, definitely.
So maybe I'll make a chat with like Mateo, Emilio, Pablo, him, and be like, hey, we like what you did, but we want to check it out and review it.
I bet Sam would review it too.
Great. I will make that happen. Should I like say anything? I mean, he also tweeted it. Should I say anything like, we didn't look at this yet? I don't want to be discouraging, but I also don't want to put people at risk.
Probably just say nothing.
Okay.
Okay, we got 5 minutes left. There's this last topic here.
Just really quick on that last statement. We should take this as a learning opportunity and ask people to. I think it's okay to discourage it, honestly, and we should ask honest actors to just like run it by us on their promotional material before they do this kind of stuff, because there's too many scams. So I think we can use this as a learning opportunity, and we should say, hey, before releasing to the public, please let us review these sorts of things before you endanger it, because it could be endangering our users.
Should I put that on Twitter, like respond to his tweet from Giveth?
I mean, I think we should say, hey, we haven't reviewed this yet, but this is really cool, but we haven't reviewed this yet. We'll Sorry, Mitch.
Thanks.
Well, yeah, if you need any more messaging things, Lauren, I think you know how to reach out to the appropriate people. Not too far from you. Okay. 4 minutes left. Channel for announcing time off and vacation. This is really great. Who brought this up?
Griff
Lauren
mentioned it in the communical. Yeah,
I think it's been mentioned a couple times. The only things these were the questions that I had, is where to put the channel, what to call it, and what permissions it should have. And it would be easy to make. I wasn't sure who should be able to view it, and like where we should put it. What do we call it? Like team status or something, or like we don't want to call it anything to do with communications, because that's a little confusing with the comms team. So these were the details.
Why don't you just call it time off?
I usually ask the devs team member to put it in all the channels and tag their teammates instead of a whole unicorn. I don't know how we can handle it, but
I think it's nice for everyone to see it. And it seems like the unicorn role is pretty generously given. At least I give it generously. So maybe it's for just the unicorns. I don't think it should be totally public.
Yeah, I think unicorns is probably good. And then we just put it under the governance category for scheduling, and I'll come up with some sort of name.
Todd's here. Todd, you brought this up. What do people usually call it? Do you have any best practices?
Circles, but that's kind of already being used, I guess, as an organizational structure, but circle channels.
And the time off specifically, is that like is there a name for that channel?
No, I haven't seen that one yet. This is mostly kind of in the co-op space.
I guess it's dealer's choice, Ashley. Whatever you go, whatever you want.
Okay, cool. I'll make it right now.
Great. Love it. Just make it happen. I think everyone agrees with it in principle, so you'll be fine. Cool. We're basically at the top of the hour. So unless there's any last minute announcements, I think we'll wrap this up. Anything?
Thank you, Mitch. Amazing call as always.
Praise Mitch.
Praise.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thanks, everyone.
Mitch.
Thank you, Mitch.
Bye, everybody.
Qué buen Mitch.